What happens when the entitled son of a respected police chief convinces himself that he is untouchable and brutally assaults a 70-year-old Vietnam veteran in broad daylight? This arrogant young man walked into Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom with a smirk, fully believing that his father's badge would shield him from any consequences. But when Judge Caprio forced that father to choose between his son and justice, the result became the most talked-about moment in Providence courtroom history. The defendant stood there smirking as he told Judge Caprio, "My dad runs this town. You can't touch me, old man," causing the entire courtroom to fall silent. But what nobody knew was that Police Chief Thomas Cole was sitting in the back of that courtroom watching his son destroy everything he had spent 35 years building, and the decision he was about to make would break hearts, restore faith in justice, and prove that some fathers love their principles more than protecting their children's mistakes. Before we dive into this incredible story, less than 5% of you watching are actually subscribed. So if you believe in real justice, in honoring our veterans, and in holding the powerful accountable, hit that subscribe button for Justice Hub right now because this story is going to spread everywhere and you don't want to miss what happens next. It was a cold November morning in Providence Municipal Court, and Judge Frank Caprio was preparing for what seemed like a routine assault case. But at 76 years old, having seen thousands of cases, something about this one felt different because the victim was a 70-year-old Vietnam veteran named Robert Martinez, and the defendant was 32-year-old Derek Cole, son of Providence Police Chief Thomas Cole. The case file told a disturbing story that 3 days ago, Robert Martinez was walking his dog in Roger Williams Park when Derek Cole, driving his BMW at excessive speed, nearly hit him. And when Martinez raised his hand to signal Derek to slow down, Derek stopped his car, got out, and confronted the elderly veteran. According to 3 separate witnesses, Derek shoved Martinez to the ground, causing him to hit his head on the pavement. And when bystanders tried to intervene, Derek allegedly said, "Do you know who I am? My father is the police chief. Call the cops, I dare you," before driving away and leaving the 70-year-old veteran bleeding on the ground with a concussion, 3 broken ribs, and a fractured wrist. An incident captured on a nearby security camera that went viral and caused the entire city of Providence to demand justice. The courtroom was packed this morning with local reporters, concerned citizens, and veteran advocacy groups, creating an energy that something significant was about to happen. But nobody knew that Police Chief Thomas Cole was sitting in the back row wearing civilian clothes with his badge tucked away, hiding the fact that he was there to witness his son's trial. When the case was called, Derek Cole walked in like he owned the place, wearing an expensive suit and a designer watch, flashing an arrogant smirk that made everyone in the gallery immediately dislike him, showing no remorse or concern as he passed Robert Martinez without even a glance.
Judge Caprio looked up with eyes that usually showed compassion but had turned ice cold because he had already seen the security footage and made up his mind that this young man was going to learn a lesson today. When asked for his plea, Derek's expensive attorney tried to speak, but Judge Caprio silenced him to hear directly from Derek, who stood up, adjusted his suit jacket, and said with that persistent smirk, "Not guilty, Your Honor. This whole thing is ridiculous." The word ridiculous hung in the air like a slap, prompting Judge Caprio to slowly remove his glasses, his signature move, and challenge Derek on whether he truly found the case ridiculous given the hospital reports and photos of injuries. Yet Derek refused to back down, claiming, "Some old guy got in my way. I barely touched him, and now I'm being dragged into court like a criminal." The gallery gasped at his disrespect, and Judge Caprio, jaw tightening, decided to expose the depth of Derek's arrogance by asking if he knew who Mr. Martinez was, to which Derek shrugged and said, "Some guy who was in my way." Judge Caprio then asked Robert Martinez to stand, and the elderly man revealed he served in the Marine Corps from 1968 to 1971, did 2 tours in Vietnam, was awarded the Purple Heart, and served as a firefighter for 30 years, silencing the room. Judge Caprio turned back to Derek and explained that while assault is assault, regardless of the victim, Derek's attitude revealed a deep character flaw. And before revealing the outcome, he asked the viewers of Justice Hub to comment if they had ever seen such disrespect toward elders. Despite Derek's lawyer trying to claim it was a poor choice of words, Judge Caprio played the security footage for everyone to see, which undeniably showed the violent shove and Derek's arrogant departure, yet even then Derek tried to claim he was just having a bad day, an excuse that made Judge Caprio explode with a lecture about how people lose jobs and homes without assaulting veterans. The judge then dismantled Derek's worldview, telling him, I think you've spent your entire life believing you're special because of your father's position, and then in a twist nobody saw coming, he called out, "Chief Cole, would you please come forward?" The entire courtroom turned to see the police chief stand up from the back row, and Derek's arrogance finally shattered as he asked, "Dad, what are you doing here?"
Chief Cole walked down the aisle, heavy with the weight of 35 years in law enforcement, and when Judge Caprio gave him the opportunity to address his son's belief that he was above the law, the chief delivered a heartbreaking speech, stating that in all his years of service, he never believed his badge gave his family the right to break laws. He silenced his son's interruptions and told the judge, "I'm here not as Police Chief Cole, but as a father who failed to teach his son respect and humility," admitting that while he loved his son, love didn't mean protecting him from consequences. Chief Cole then stunned the room by asking the judge to be severe in his sentencing because Derek needed to learn this lesson now, revealing he had already visited Mr. Martinez to apologize personally, where the veteran had told him, "Chief, your son needs help, not protection." Judge Caprio, deeply moved by this display of integrity, thanked the chief for his courage and asked Derek if he understood that his father chose the law over nepotism, to which a crying Derek finally admitted he was wrong. Judge Caprio then delivered the sentence: 90 days in the correctional facility, 200 hours of community service specifically with elderly veterans, 1 year of anger management, a written and in-person apology to Mr. Martinez, and a video apology to be posted on the police department's social media to cure his arrogance with public accountability. Chief Cole then added his own condition, stating that Derek would be moving out of the family house to learn to stand on his own, telling him, "It's time for you to grow up." When asked for final words, the victim, Mr. Martinez, showed incredible grace, saying he didn't want revenge, only for the young man to learn respect, a statement that silenced the room with its dignity. As officers approached to take Derek into custody, Chief Cole hugged his son tightly and whispered, "I love you enough to let you face this," leaving the courtroom in tears as they witnessed true love that supports growth rather than enabling bad behavior. Judge Caprio concluded the session by telling the audience that they had witnessed true leadership and integrity, and 6 months later, Derek Cole walked out of jail a changed man who had found humility, eventually becoming an advocate for veterans and rebuilding his relationship with his father, proving that Judge Caprio's decision and Chief Cole's courage didn't just deliver justice, but saved a life.